Hey friends, welcome back to the Maple Leaf Barn. I'm Libby and today we are harvesting our very first wave of tulips. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and if you are returning, thanks for hanging out with us on our flower farm here in Southwest Ohio. It is a beautiful Easter Sunday today, and it is the evening time, and I'm going to go ahead and harvest all the tulips that are ready to go because we are going to have a couple days of really stormy weather, and I want to get them all harvested so we can start our spring CSA shares. We are super excited to get these beautiful tulips into our clients' hands. I'm starting off with a little spade to help get the bulbs out with the stem. Last year, we had a hard time successfully retrieving the bulbs, so this season I really am trying to take extra diligence to get the bulb so we can dry store these tulips for a few weeks in our spare fridge. I just wanted to show you a little closer up kind of what they're looking like. So we have a little bit of a variety, but that's okay. We're gonna trim off the bulb all the way down so we have more stem length and it'll look wonderful. We're so excited. This variety is actually called Okra. So far the tulip bed is looking really healthy with no signs of tulip fire. We planted our tulips in the 50-foot row to the left of the row where we planted last season. It's a good practice to stay up on your crop rotation with tulips and to avoid planting them in the same row due to the heavy nutrient depletion that occurs with a bulb crop. In case you're wondering what tulip fire is, it's a fungal disease of tulips caused by Iratus tulipae. I think I'm saying that right. But in any case, it produces brown spots and twisted, weathered, and distorted leaves. Sometimes it's called the tulip fire because in severe cases, it really does make the leaves of the plants look like they're scorched by fire. We have about 1,500 tulips growing right now, I think, and while we don't have enough space to dry store all of them, we want to try to keep as many as possible. Most of this first harvest will be for our CSA, which we will begin this week, so we will go ahead and chop the bulbs off, but for the future spring events and CSA deliveries, we want lots of tulips and a lot of different variety to choose from. Now, I will say that I have snapped a couple of stems on this harvesting experience so far, but it has been a little bit easier with this handheld spade that is working well. And so I am retrieving the bulb on the stem much easier compared to last season. I would just recommend digging straight down about 6 to 8 inches away from your bulb and then gently trying to loosen up that soil underneath. The more blooms you pull out, the more access you'll gain to the other stems. So I find that the further into harvesting you go, the easier it gets. Obviously, this is a lot easier if you're growing in a raised bed, but we plant directly into the soil, so it's always kind of a little bit more tricky. You can see in some of these cases I'm tugging a little bit, but you just want to be gentle, otherwise you'll, snap it completely off. I know this is a little redundant to include so much footage of us harvesting, but when I first started off, I didn't harvest tulips correctly, so I'm just throwing this in here in case you want more of a visual for harvesting correctly. Each variety will be different to harvest, and the soil types that you're growing in will play a big part into how easily the stems come out of the soil. We did amend this soil with a lot of compost last season, but it's been rainy and the bulbs tend to be hard to get out if there's been too much rain. So it kind of turns into this whole suction cup situation where it's hard to really get the bulb out of that deep soil because you're planting them at least 6 inches under the soil. If you snap the tulip off and you don't retrieve the bulb, it's okay, it's still usable, but that just means that you either have to sell it immediately or you can leave it in the refrigerator, but you need to wrap it and put it in water. And it only usually gives you maybe 10 to 14 days to really get that into a bouquet and into someone's hands. However, if you are able to retrieve the bulb on the stem, then you can wrap it and put it in the fridge or in a dark, cool place and have that available for 3 weeks in advance. And so then you can take it back out and they rehydrate if you chop off that bulb and then put it in a bouquet. So it's really good to keep the bulb on if you can. I'm already loving this particular variety called Okra, and I just think it's incredible. It's vibrant orange with hints of green. It is a great change of pace with the dull rainy storms that have been rolling through Ohio this past week. The height of this tulip is varying, but it's giving me about 10 to 12 inches, and when we process them, it will probably yield another inch since we're going to split the bulb down and get the additional stem length that's hidden inside of the bulb. I'll be sure to give you an update with these beauties wrapped up for our CSA deliveries in an upcoming video. I will definitely be adding this okra variety to my list to grow for next season. I'm curious, what's your favorite variety that you're growing right now? Drop a comment with your top tulips for this year. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.